Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray with a hoarse throat because it's fall time and there's stuff in the air, but I'm still living.
That's right.
Good morning. Peggy Burton here.
And I'm Jim Puller.
And we're all just maybe barely living, but we're
You know, excuse me, I noticed on our introduction video for the show,
yes,
Peggy's the only one that still looks the same. You and I need to get new pictures.
Right, you could be right.
Nah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Peggy still looks just as young as she did when we did that.
No,
and that was probably what? Philip, how long ago was that?
When did I start here? Seems like
I don't know.
was
It's at least 10 years ago.
It seems like I was just passing through, and somebody said we need somebody on the
Yeah,
set.
you were passing through, and we went. I looked at Fuller, and Fuller looked at me, and we thought, she'll give us some credibility.
Yeah, let's keep. Let's see if we can keep her. Keep her. Yeah, right.
I don't know about that, but anyway, I am glad to be here. And wasn't it the most beautiful weekend? Oh my
fantastic.
gosh! And I guess 41A had the best weather they've had in a while.
I'd say so.
Perfect.
I'd say they did.
It really
yes.
was.
And if you didn't go, we have a whole lot of video for you today of the 41A.
Yeah.
So
it's a wonderful project.
it is. It is. It's what? Andrew, what year is it? 2018.
Oh, wow. What year did 41A start?
You know, we're talking about our crew and how beautiful Peggy was and still is, and you know. But one of the scary things about it is Andrew. You just ask Andrew a question. He doesn't have a clue.
Andrew has a clue.
But he knew what year it was.
But you know, Andrew is probably now getting close to 40. Andrew used to be a mere child. He knew everything. Now sometimes it slips away, you know, and so
Andrew's mind's like a steel trap. It amazes me what that guy knows.
His head is full of information.
But the information, and, you know, we're all this way. You know, we sort of collect in our minds things that interest us.
Right.
And sometimes that's eclectic
true.
information. Mm-hmm. And Andrew's an eclectic kind of a guy.
Yeah.
He has tidbits of. If I were to go to have a trivia team, Andrew would be one of the people on my trivia team.
Yeah, when I was at the office this morning before I came here, and I was thinking, I wonder how the Major League playoffs are shaping up. And I started to look it up on the internet, and I thought, I'll just ask Andrew when I get over there. He'll know. So, Andrew, I hope you enjoy being the target of this hot topic of the morning.
Exactly.
He is the hot topic of the morning.
Yeah.
What? Go Cubs, he said.
Oh, okay.
Right. He's a big Cubs fan.
Right.
And a big Dallas fan, Dallas
Right.
Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah.
And Tennessee Titans this weekend, Peggy. I know you wanted to know about what happened in football.
I absolutely do want to know.
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans beat the
I knew that,
Eagles,
actually.
Yeah.
the world champions from last year.
Isn't that
And
fabulous?
Mariota had a great game, and
That is
everybody
so
in
good.
Nashville was just going absolutely crazy.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They had a big time up there in Nashville.
Well, it was a good weekend to have a big time.
Vegas.
Nash Vegas. Lots of people.
Tennessee, of course, lost again this weekend, but I thought I saw a little improvement. You know.
I saw some defensive things they did that was better.
Yeah.
And a couple of offensive things they did that was better. Hey, that's a work in progress. This
absolutely,
guy wiped the slate clean.
Maybe next year will be
started all over again.
Next year or the year after, and you got to realize,
it takes the time to
you know,
grow.
for a couple of reasons. John's more of an expert on this than I am because he actually played the game. But you know, Coach Pruitt has come in and installed a different defensive scheme and somewhat different offensive scheme as well. And I would imagine that it takes these young men a little bit of time to adjust to that, especially on defense, because things that maybe you used to do that you just knew that instinctively, that now you're having to think for a second, maybe. What's your thoughts on that?
I think the way they played for the past couple of years, they probably didn't know the old scheme.
Okay.
They don't have to forget a whole lot.
A tragic thing happened in football this week. A young man died, a young high school student as well as a college student.
Yeah.
For them, I think of their families and how horrendous that must feel. But it happens.
Well, it happens it happens. They could have died
everything.
walking down the sidewalk. You know, I mean,
true,
I
but
think a lot of times sports, because they're so popular, get a bad rap on injury and stuff. But if you look and compare that to a lot of other things that take place,
True.
it's life.
And you can't drop everything
No.
because you're afraid.
Yeah, and you can't keep your children away from everything because you're afraid.
But it's still sad, and
Yes, it is. Very sad. Very sad.
Sad about that.
Tullahoma Wildcats beat Nolensville Friday night for homecoming.
Absolutely.
Tullahoma Wildcats is right on top.
Oh, they're right on
Yeah.
it, and that was one of the 2 games. Now they're 3-0 in the conference.
6-1 overall.
6-1.
And that win the other night got them in a guaranteed spot in the playoffs.
Yes,
correct?
yes, and then they'll play Lawrenceburg this week, which travel to Lawrenceburg. So you people travel to Lawrenceburg. They will be, Lawrenceburg hasn't done very well, but that's what happened that's what happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You get trapped.
Oh,
you
yeah.
think, I don't have to worry about preparing for them, and
Uh-oh. We
that's
need
what
to mention.
Nolensville did when they
Yeah.
came down here. We don't have to worry about
We need to
Tullahoma.
mention that the Tullahoma High School band got escorted back into town
Yeah,
by
they did.
our wonderful police force because they won many awards.
Another
Another.
weekend, they won everything.
They did it.
Best of.
They're fabulous, and I think that they certainly need to be congratulated. And
Yeah, for sure,
Right.
for sure. Outstanding.
You know, John, when I came in this morning, and don't think I'm going to take us down the path to talk about politics, because I'm not. But
Careful.
But yes, I'm very careful about
Walk
that.
lightly.
Let me really hone in there,
But
boy.
when I came in this morning, there was some discussion in the studio about some political issue, and it reminded me that last week, since we did the last show, I was at the post office one day, and a really nice lady, I'm sorry I don't know her name, but came up and said, "How come everybody is talking about politics and you guys are not? Y'all never talk about that really
We
on your
can't
show."
afford to, can we?
That's kind of what I said. I said, you know what? We probably, all 3 of us, have different opinions about that, but it would be hard to get through a discussion about that without somebody getting mad. I'm not talking about us, but the country is so evenly divided and split now in what they believe politically that you're bound to make somebody mad.
Oh, yeah,
If
yeah.
you have that discussion, you're bound to make somebody. And I said, we struggle to survive anyway. We can't afford to make anybody mad.
I just live in a world where I think each side has a right to speak up and say what they think. But you know what I mean?
Sure, I do too.
I can't
But
be mad at you because you have an opinion.
But you can't. They don't care either side. Jimmy might say something that I believe is right, but because he wears a gray suit and I wear a blue suit, and he's a gray suit and I'm a blue suit, I'm not going to agree with him because he's got a gray suit on, and that's the way Congress is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
If you're on
but
one
still,
side, they want to agree with you. I don't care if you were giving away $1,000 bills to everybody walking on the street. They would say that's a bad thing to do because you had a gray suit on.
Right. That's exactly right.
And we survive not like some other people. We don't have grants.
Right.
We don't have federal money. We don't have city or county or
Yeah, I
state
learned a
money.
long time
We sell
ago.
advertising.
Exactly.
And in our
You gotta make
country right
everybody
now,
happy.
it's so polarized. You know, if you take one side, you're either going to make 49% or 59% of the people mad. And half of those are your advertisers, and they quit buying
Yeah,
advertising.
that's right.
We can't afford that.
But I learned a long time ago, if you want to keep a friend, don't talk politics and stay off of religion.
Yeah, you're exactly.
You're
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's
Honestly?
been an axiom
Yeah.
for years. I think.
know.
You know, politics and religion.
And
So,
I heard somebody say the other day, of course, this is back to sports,
That's okay.
don't go to sleep on the Bengals. Evidently, the Bengals must be playing good, so they said, don't go to sleep on the Bengals. So everybody's talking about all these teams, and nobody's mentioning them, and they're like 3-1.
yeah.
Sneaky. They're sneaky.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder if Andrew knows how the Cleveland Browns are doing. They've had a really rough time of it.
Is he listening?
Well, they played. They lost in overtime.
Oh, did it? I think they're doing better this year.
Well, they've got the number 1 pick, Baker Mayfield,
right.
and he came in.
And he's starting.
He came in and he took them to an overtime last night. Lost by 3 points, I believe, or the other night. And then he came in last week in second half and won the ball game. Came back from. He's dynamic.
Right.
The whole town, the team's gone crazy over him.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys that makes it happen. You know, and it's funny they said that Johnny Manziel sent him something about what it was like to play in the NFL, and of course Johnny didn't make it very far, but Baker Mayfield's got a whole lot better head on his shoulders as far as what to do off the field than Johnny Manziel. But he's that electric. He's one of these people that, man, he's going everywhere. He's jumping up and down, turning flips, throwing the ball backwards, and somebody catches it for a touchdown, and everybody's just going crazy over it.
Right.
And that's good.
Right.
It's a good thing, particularly for Cleveland.
Excitement.
They didn't win a game for 2 years.
And what you just said, it says a lot for a professional football player, especially if they've got a pretty good head on their shoulders and knows how to act away from the game.
Now, he's cocky. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, right.
He's cocky. You know, they were showing about it. All these guys make so much money because of advertising.
Right.
And they were showing the first commercial that somebody did back years ago, and they had their stuff all prim and proper. His first commercial, he's standing in front of some British car with a pair of underwear up and his pants down a little bit, no shirt, and a white tiger in front of him.
Wow.
And they were telling him what he got paid for doing that.
Sounds appealing.
If you're want to buy underwear, I guess it is.
Well, sure it is. Yeah, sure it is.
So, I mean, we're ready to go. What about you? This is a great week. I think we're going to have some good weather. It's going to heat back up a little bit.
All right.
And go fight your own political battles. We're not going to fight them for you.
We're not going to.
We'll be back after these messages.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why. Keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and we were talking about Tullahoma High School playing Nolensville last week and winning that ball game during homecoming. And our man Bob Payne was over there, and he got some interviews with the homecoming court. And, you know, it's a wonderful thing to have lovely young ladies driving around the field in cars and walking up and being crowned. And all of the people who were involved did a great job. And let's go to that video right now.
In a truck provided and driven by Landon Perry. DJ Dillahay represents the freshman class. Xavier Paradis is representing the sophomore class. And Joseph Pope represents the junior class. Caleb Stroop, Caleb Potuck, and Matthew Ross are escorting the senior attendants. Now we would like to recognize the freshman homecoming attendant, Miss Madeline Bell. Her is her father, Jamie Bell, and the car is provided by Harrington Ray.
That's my sister's car. Yeah. One was my cousin.
Next, being chauffeur attendant, Miss Robin Smedley. Robin would like to thank Willie and Jill Kinsey for the use of their car.
He told me, he said, I gotta contain myself and not do donuts on the track. And I was like, man, now I want you to do donuts.
See what she's doing? She's practicing for the
It's for the seniors.
Our flower girl, Kinsey Carr, and crown bearer, Kai Morris, are next. We now recognize senior attendant, Miss Maggie Parton. The next senior attendant is Miss Cindy. She is riding a car provided and driven by Randy.
I'm not watching big DJs.
Our final senior attendant is Miss Natalie Todaro.
My name's Brianna Welch, and I'm a Tullahoma varsity cheerleader, and I'll be interviewing this year's homecoming court. I'm here with Madeline Bell, our freshman attendant. What has been your favorite part about this experience?
Probably choosing the dress.
Where did you get your dress?
Someplace in Murfreesboro.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Robin Smedley, our sophomore attendant. Where is your favorite part of this experience so far?
The dance and pep rally. It was so much fun to do with my friends. It was amazing.
Where did you get your dress?
David's Bridal in Murfreesboro.
Thank you. I'm here with Shay Starks, our junior attendant. What has been your favorite part about this experience?
Probably riding out in the car. Yeah.
Where did you get your dress?
I got from David's Bridal in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Thank you. I'm here with Maggie Parton, the senior attendant for homecoming. What has been your most favorite part of this experience?
I was really happy that I was nominated by my senior class, and I got to do it with one of my best friends, Caleb Stroop. It was so much fun dressing up through this week for our Disney characters, and then on the pep rally today and Friday. It was really fun just to dance and do stunts, and it's really exciting to just go through the game and run through the tee with my cheerleading team.
Where did you get your dress?
I got my dress in Murfreesboro at the White Room.
Thank you. I'm with Sydney Pendergraph, the other senior attendant for our high school. And what has been your favorite part of this experience?
Probably work with everybody else and learning the dances and all kinds of stuff. That's my favorite part.
Mm-hmm. Where did you get your dress?
I got it at David's Bridal, as well as my shoes, which I'm not wearing currently.
Takes it to the right.
Thank you. I'm here with Natalie Todaro, our homecoming queen for football. What has been your favorite part of this experience?
Probably the dance we got to do at the pep rally. It was really fun rehearsing everybody, and I just oh my gosh, it was just hilarious to watch everybody else do it and do it myself. I had a really great time.
Yeah, where did you get your dress?
I got it at Glitz Nashville. I don't exactly know where in Nashville it is, but it's a really cool store, so if you're looking for a dress, go check it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
We're bringing Jazz on Jackson back to South Jackson Civic Center November 15th with Mr. Jamie Simmons, great trumpeter. He's the professor of jazz studies at MTSU, and we have a little clip on him right now.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Go ahead.
You like to play your games. I knew you'd never change. You like to bat those eyes, but behind that smile is only lies. You think I'm crazy over you, but I'm done playing the fool. That was the last straw, last chance, last song to our midnight dance, the last call, last time I say I love you from the other line. So be careful what you do. That was the last straw for you. You walked in with her, old memories started to stir. I knew what was coming, that familiar tune was humming. I knew you had it learned when I saw her taking her turn. That was the last straw, last chance, last song to our midnight dance, the last call, last time said I love you from the other line. So be careful what you do. That was the last straw for you. Last song to our midnight dance, the last call, last time. Say I love you from the other line. That was the last straw, last chance. Last song to our midnight dance, the last call, last time. I said I love you from the other line. So be careful what you do. That was goodbye for you.
All right. Thank you. I love that song, Macy.
Thank you so
First time I heard you do it, you know, when you were auditioning for country, and I thought to myself, wow, look what you've done in your 15 years. Am I right, 15?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's hard for me to believe because you started down here. I know you won Josie Award last year. What
Yes,
is
ma'am.
kind of that about?
The Josie Awards is for independent artists, and I won the Young Adult Rising Star
Which I
award.
thought was fabulous.
Thank you.
That's quite an honor. That's quite
Yes,
an
it
honor.
is.
And I know you perform because I see you on Facebook performing every chance you get.
Yes, ma'am.
And you do a great job. And I know you're patriotic because you do patriotic
Mhm.
songs sometimes, and you show up at veterans events. I appreciate that because my family, we go all the way back in the military.
Yes,
and I
we do
really
too.
appreciate what you do. So what's the next big event you got coming up?
Well, throughout the week I have different places. I'm going to sing throughout Nashville. I'm singing at Piranhas this week, but in Manchester this weekend is Old Timers Day, and I'll be singing at
what time?
On Saturday at 11 o'clock. I'll be singing at Old Timers Day.
Now I know that's around the square, sort of, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So where on the square will you be? I guess there's a stage.
Yes, there'll be a stage, and it's usually close to where West Main Brick.
Okay.
If they know where that is. It's close to around
Well,
there.
they can't miss it. There's a square somewhere around the courthouse. You're
Yeah.
going to find it. And the parade starts at 10, if I'm
Yes,
not
ma'am.
mistaken. And this goes on Saturday and Friday.
Friday and Saturday.
It's quite a big event. It's gone on for several years. And people that haven't been, you need to go over to Manchester this coming weekend, because I think it's going to be a pretty weekend, and you get to hear Macy sing. Macy has been singing for a long time. And can you remember when you first knew you had a voice in there?
Well, it all started whenever I took acting, modeling, and singing lessons. I was more in the acting thing, and then I was like.
And how old were you then?
I was 4.
Oh my gosh.
and I started to think, you know what? I don't know if I'm that good at
Acting?
acting, and I was like, I think the singing thing suits me better.
And
so
when did you write your first song?
I wrote my first song probably a little over a year ago.
Which has, I feel like that you're continuing once you started and you decided, hey, maybe I can write music.
Yes.
Did you find it hard to share it a
No.
little bit? You just jumped up there and did it?
Yeah. Well, you know, at first, whenever you write your first songs, you're kind of like self-conscious and think they're not good enough. But, you know, I think as I've written more songs that they've gotten better, like structurally. And
I think this last straw shows tremendous ability.
Thank you. And I feel like my writing ability has gotten better, and I feel more confident
Well,
about
it's like
it.
everything else. You have to practice it, you have to do it, you have to get it out there and see how it sells. I got to ask this question. Being only 15, is that from personal experience, that song?
I guess so, a little bit of what I've been through. And I wrote this song with my friend Ava Page, and just, I guess, about relatable stuff that most people had gone through.
Right. Well, I'd love to hear you do another one. Have you got one in your head that you'd like to share?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's do it.
I wrote this next song with my friend Marissa McKay, and we wrote this song about falling for your best friend. Okay. So this one's called Just Friends. wanna be friends, no. But we're just friends, whoa. I wish I didn't have this rush. 'Cause what I said could ruin us. Oh, what I'm feeling could be love, but if that's gonna mess things up, I guess being friends is enough for me. I don't wanna fall for you, but you want me under. I confuse everything that you do. I adore, wishing that we could be something more. And I'm done playing pretend. Yeah, I don't wanna be friends, no. But we're just friends, whoa. Friends, that's what you wanna be. But if you're asking me, I don't wanna fall for you, but you're pulling me under. I can't refuse everything that you do. I adore, wishing that we could be something more. And I'm done playing pretend. Yeah, I don't wanna be friends, no. Just friends, whoa, whoa. I love it. Thank you.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Online credit applications. Hometown auto rental. Customer testimonials. Trade appraisals. Certified collision center. Service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. John Rickman here.
And this is Pat Welch and John. We are here today with segment 45 of the Conversations with John and Pat. Who ever thought we'd last this long?
Management. Patience. Patience from the management, I'm sure.
A lot of patience.
A lot of songs we learned as children, as kids, as teenagers, whatever, came about. It was folk music during our early years, and I like this song. And it goes right along with some of the things that you're going to be talking about in just a few minutes. The city council met last week. The vote was 4-3 to tear the hometown depot down and build a factory, to take that stretch of history and wipe it off the map, to take old engine number 9 and turn it into scrap. Blue water, blue water, blue water line. Blue water, blue water, blue water line. If you can't afford a quarter, then you ought to give a dime. If everybody gave, then we could save the blue water line. Well, I could tell you stories about the glories of that train, about the 49er miners and the time old Jesse James stole 1,000 golden nuggets in that great train robbery. And when Abe Lincoln rode that train with Todd upon his knee. Blue water, blue water, blue water line. Blue water, blue water, blue water line. If you can't afford a quarter, then you ought to give a dime. If everybody gave, then we could save the blue water line. Just 40,000 quarters, just 20,000 dimes. We'll all ride to glory on the old blue water line. We'll have William Jennings Bryan stoking coal on number 9. So reach inside your pocket for the old blue water line. Blue water, blue water, blue water line. Blue water, blue water, blue water line. If you can't afford a quarter, then you ought to give a dime. If everybody gave, then we could save the blue water line. Everybody gave, then we could save the blue water line.
Man, John.
Have you ever heard that song?
I have not. But
I think of Miss Marjorie Collier when I sing that song, because it wasn't the engine that she was saving, but they saved a caboose.
That's right.
Down in the center of town.
That's exactly right.
Yes, sir. What's our subject
Well, I
matter
think we're
today?
going to talk today a little bit about a tree and that was in the middle of town during the Civil War that both the Union and the Confederacy used for discipline. It was a hanging tree. And it's on Blackwell Street. Philip, why don't you show that picture? That is what's probably to most people now known as the Paul and Ann Smotherman house on Blackwell Street. And that tree to the right of the house, the hanging tree was about 10 yards behind it, and it was struck by lightning about 100 years after the last person was hung. But that time would have been by the Union. And I think myth and legend was that it struck it 100 years exact to the day, and by my estimations, that was probably not correct, but it was close to 100 years old.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Correct. I went to school by that through that corner for a good while in grade school up at St. Paul's, and the day that was struck on the weekend, and Monday morning when I went by there, it was powdered. That was some lightning strike. Philip, why don't you show the tombstone up now? There's a write-up in findagrave.com, and this cemetery is in Dwight, Illinois. And at the tombstone, John and I can't read it, but it says S.W. Washington, S.W. Kinney. His name was Samuel Washington Kinney, spelled Kenney, and he was born in 1822 in the Lehigh Valley area of Pennsylvania. How he got to Tennessee, I do not know, but he was in Pulaski, Giles County, at the start of the war with a little bit of abolitionist ideas, which I think just about got him tarred and feathered, and he left with his family, wife and young family, and they went into Kentucky, and at that time he somehow ran into Union Army led by General Buell, and he enlisted and became a spy. So eventually, in '63, the Battle of Stones River was at the absolute end of 1962, and Bragg, the Confederate general, retreated to the Tullahoma area, and he got into July of '63. In February of '63, he showed up with a gray uniform on and had a blue one underneath. And he had misfortune though, of somebody from Pulaski was in the Confederate troops at the time and recognized him. And they had him court-martialed and hung within hours. And when Tommy Allen was alive, that you talked with, a great local historian, he went to the archives in Nashville and got records of the court-martial, and he traced where this gentleman was buried in Dwight. Well, anyway, I got a lot of my information from the memories of that time from a young man named Archibald Yale Smith, whose family, at least at one time, lived on Atlantic Street in one of those railroad houses that now has Hull, Haynes, Reeder, that law office. And they farmed the old Blackwell farm. They bought, his father, Archibald Yale Smith's father, bought that land, and it was about 20 or 30 acres, and they farmed that area. They buried Mr. Kinney near the gallows and near that tree. And Mr. Smith knew, Archibald Yale Smith's father knew where he was buried, and he put an iron fence, small fence around it, and said, make sure that, when you're plowing and so forth, we never desecrate this grave. And so the sons were really careful not to do anything with it. But one of the sons saw after a storm that a few bone fragments and some buttons from the uniform had washed out, and they put them back. And this is when Archibald Yale was. He saw that happen and knew exactly where the grave was. In the 1890s, his wife and children had made it to Dwight, Illinois, which is a small town, about 4,500 people, about 70 miles south of Chicago. And she was just about destitute. But she could not get her pension that she was due because she couldn't prove that he died in an honorable way.
They needed a grave. They needed to find out where the grave was, where he was buried. They needed to make sure that he was not AWOL, that type of thing. So she sent two of her sons to Tullahoma because she knew he'd been here to find out what happened. And she made an investigation enough to where eventually they led her to Archibald Yale Smith and said that he'd seen the hanging. He said, I did not see the hanging, but I know where his bones are because my brothers showed me when they reinterred his body. And her two sons dug the grave up and took him back and buried him in Dwight where that marker is now. And she got her pension, and it's a kind of an incredible story, really, that we can now piece all that together.
Pat, that's a lot of good research on that.
Well, John, neither one of us near as good as Bob Couch or Paul Powell, but we'd like to be.
We try.
Yeah.
We try our hardest.
Yeah.
We enjoyed being here today, Pat.
It was a good segment.
Good
the
segment.
End of the 45th segment, and we hope, if management will allow us to continue, that we can go on to 46. Thank you all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Who will be Mr. and Ms. Tullahoma Canine this year? Which dog will win the Best Trick Award? Find out at the Animal Shelter's Bark in the Park, Saturday, October 13th from 10 until 2 at Wagner Park. Help support the Animal Medical Care Fund during a day of barking family fun that includes dog contest, pup paw art, grooming, ninja slide, and more. Sponsorships, silent auction items, and volunteers are needed. To learn more, contact Teresa Holt at 454-9580 or visit our website.
Rush Bricken understands the importance of education.
Rush Bricken knows agriculture and farming is vital to Tennessee.
Rush Bricken believes in a good education and creating job skills.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I'll represent your conservative values in Nashville.
40 years in business.
I'm picking Bricken.
20 years on the county commission.
We're picking Bricken.
Vote Rush Bricken November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
Welcome back. We're going to talk about children's advocacy today. I have with me Joyce Prusak. Hi, Joyce.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What's happening this year?
Oh, goodness.
It's happening soon, I know.
It is happening soon. We have, we're doing something, an event for kids and families alike, something new. We are bringing the School of Wizardry to Manchester, Tennessee. Yes, yes. And we are actually very excited. We've had to temper our enthusiasm a little bit because the School of Wizardry, as a lot of kids and parents know, is a very popular thing.
Right.
And there's so many activities we could do for this that we're starting off with games and activities and food and that sort of thing.
And it's a week from Saturday.
It's a week from
October
Saturday.
13th, so put that on your calendar. And it's for everybody, but it's for children?
Yeah, it's really aimed towards children, but we want parents and all the fans of the famous wizard to come out. A lot of the games and activities will be geared more towards the younger ones, but there will be a food station, the Flying Cauldron, which will have, I can't believe it's not butterbeer, some polyjuice floats, some fall festive treats that everybody can partake in. Kids and adults can get sorted into their houses. It's just going to be a fun event.
So the event is basically free, but you bring money to exchange for something.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bank set up where kids and adults will change money, their dollars, for Goblin Gold, and then use Goblin Gold throughout the event. So they'll be using it for food, for games, for Yule Ball. We actually have a DJ that's going to be playing music and set up in the basement at the church at 117 in Manchester, where kids can come dressed in their robes. They'll get their wands at the event if they spin the wheel of wands, and just to have a fun, festive time.
And so if they have from $10 to $20, they can still have a great time.
Absolutely. Even if they have 5, there'll be something for them to do.
I think it sounds fabulous. 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, free admission, and it's located
at the church at 117, which is on 117th East 4th Street, just off the square a little bit in Manchester.
You just can't miss it. If you get on the square and start driving around, you'll see all this hoopla going on over there. Is this all inside?
It's all inside. There'll be a couple of things outside, like picture opportunities and maybe a cornhole game, but everything else will be inside.
Okay.
So,
And this is, it just sounds like a fabulous event. And the money that you do raise, let's talk about where that money goes.
Yeah, all the money that's raised comes right back to the Coffee County Children's Advocacy Center, and we help children who have been victims of severe abuse right here in Coffee County.
That's something that just really touches my heart. I was not abused. but there are so many children
There
in
are.
life that are abused, and often they go unnoticed because they're afraid to come forward.
Yeah.
You have any suggestions for children that might be abused?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is to find somebody safe that they feel that they can talk to. You know, a lot of kids that do come to us actually have tried to tell somebody before and they weren't believed.
And they wouldn't listen.
Right, and somebody wouldn't listen. So to make sure that that next person that they tell is going to get them the help that they need, that's the most important thing.
I think, don't you think that sometimes they won't come forward out of fear?
Absolutely. Some of them, sometimes they've been threatened, either by the person that's done it to them or even if somebody knows about it, you know. It's a life-changing thing for a child to disclose. It changes not only that child's life, it changes the family's life.
It changes the community's life.
Absolutely.
It touches many more people. It's like ripples in a stream.
It sure
And
is.
so what you all are doing is the same thing. You're getting it out there and you're helping a lot of people, and that maybe takes some child to not be makes a child not to be afraid to talk to you. They could call you, couldn't they? Do y'all have office hours?
We do. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Wednesday is a little bit longer.
And where's your office?
We're on the square, 2 doors down from Tolliver's in Manchester. Our number is 723-8888. If a
Oh, there we
parent-
go. It's on the.
Yeah.
Write that down. And this goes if you're a child or if you're an adult that has an issue with any of this. Don't be afraid to come forward.
Right. And call us and ask a question. You know, even if you don't know, we'll try and point you in the right direction.
Do you have any idea how many people you've helped each year?
We usually
or an
help,
average?
It's usually between 280 and 300 children each year get our services directly at our center. And then, so we're actually over 3,600 since we've opened our
That's
doors.
amazing.
And over 19,000 kids in Coffee County schools, including
19,000.
Tullahoma schools, have gotten prevention education from us.
That's awesome. Do you actually go into the schools then?
We do. We have someone that goes directly into the schools with our Yellow Dino program, and we teach kids, most importantly, about tricky people. Because
So you have a yellow dinosaur?
Yes, we do. We have a yellow dinosaur puppet, but the most important thing is that we want children and families to understand that it's rarely strangers that hurt the children. It's 90% of the time it's somebody that
It's
child
somebody
loves,
that they
trusts,
know,
and
love,
knows.
and trust. And
Absolutely.
To me, that is the most horrible part.
It is.
almost. Yeah.
It is. And it's scary because you wonder who you can trust
And then
sometimes.
again, you have to go back to that person that's doing the abuse. When do they need to get help too?
Right, right.
I'm not saying that that's a good thing. It's just that they need help, just like they may have grown up in a family where
Right.
that happened to them and they thought it was okay.
Right.
And
Right.
that's horrible.
Right. And that's why, that's why we also provide therapy for children and families, because when kids experience trauma, you have no idea how that will manifest later on in their lives.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we can actually not only identify abuse and get the intervention services they need, but make sure that those children have the healing services they need as well.
I think it's a fabulous program, and the program has been in effect, I don't know how long.
Since 2005, we opened our
2000
doors. Mhm.
And were you on the ground floor?
No,
you came a little later.
a little
didn't you?
later. A year later, I came in. So.
Well, we are so blessed to have you and all the others that work with this group.
Thank you. We've got a
And
wonderful
then now
team.
let's go back to October 13th because we don't want anybody to miss the School of Wizardry.
No, we're really excited.
How did y'all come up with that idea?
We walked into the church at 117 and it reminded us of a great hall, and that was it.
Okay. Well, folks, it's time for us to go. So on October 13th, we're looking forward to the big event with the Wizardry Festival, downtown Manchester. We'll be back.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Thank you, John, for that introduction. Spring's just right around the corner. Yes, sir. And thank you, camera ladies, for putting a good, sharp, clear, contrasty, beautiful, colorful picture on the screen of all your subjects. Yes, sir. We had several responses to our sharing about the engine pit last week, and brings back a lot of memories about the railroad. We got a lot more to come about the railroad, but today I thought one of the things that's important to all our lives is convenience. We hear convenience stores, convenience this, convenience that, and do you know that one of the most convenient things that we seldom even think about a whole lot is the convenience of bringing articles to our home or to our stores, and you older, not old, but older residents do remember when you went to the grocery store or any store, why, whatever your purchases were, you carried them out to your wagon or your truck or your car and didn't think anything about it. But now, you know, everything seems to have to be carried to your car or and nobody has a wagon anymore but to your truck, and it's a real convenient thing to do. You remember, for example, dry cleaning and laundry. You took it to the laundry, if there be one, and to the dry cleaning. But nowadays, they pick up and deliver dry cleaning and laundry, which is certainly a convenience. And we did a segment several weeks ago on the milk plants in Tullahoma that delivered milk to your home every morning. And you put a little note out there whether you wanted a pint or a quart or chocolate milk or buttermilk, and sure enough, the milkman would deliver whatever you wanted. Convenience. And you know, we see these brown trucks for the last 12, 15 years running around Tullahoma. That's the United Parcel Service that delivers your packages to your home and to your business. It's real helpful. And then those of us that participate in their program, they pick up every day too. It's really convenient for that. And remember the little old dark green early 1930, 31 United States parcel post truck, the mail truck that would deliver parcels to homes and businesses that probably didn't have a mailbox at the post office or the rural delivery service, and that's certainly a convenience. And you know, years ago, the products that were sold in small towns would come by railroad freight car, and there was a big freight depot in the 100 block of North Atlantic Street from 1850 until 1921, and when the freight trains would stop to load or unload their freight cars, they would block Lincoln Street and Grundy Street. So they jacked the freight depot up in April of 1921 and moved it down to the corner of Warren and South Atlantic Street, just across the railroad from Hawks, where Hawks Lumber Company is now. And for years and years, while they unloaded freight there, and the earliest delivery from the freight depot to the merchants uptown was Mr. Will Moppin, a wonderful fellow that had a gray horse and a wagon, and he delivered merchandise that had been unloaded at the freight depot to their destination uptown, whatever it be, horseshoes or hardware or groceries or whatever. And I remember my grandfather that had the grocery store there at 119 North Atlantic Street for so many years, would get a whole freight car load of Maxwell House green coffee, and he would take a wagon or a pickup truck down to the siding, railroad siding in front of the old post office, and would unload it and bring it up to the store, and he would roast that beautiful coffee. They were green then, but he would roast them, and then he'd grind them, and he sold that Maxwell House coffee for 10 cents a pound or 3 pounds a quarter, a convenience for everyone. And then as time went on, why those merchants of whatever, whether it be furniture or dry goods or groceries or hardware, would have to drive to Nashville or Chattanooga to pick up whatever they need for their stores. And it would be great because they could set their own schedule for that. And then these suppliers in the cities, the salesman would come around from the suppliers and take your order and take it back or send it back to the suppliers in Nashville, Chattanooga, and then they began to deliver in their own trucks. I know that the H.G. Hill stores had their own company trucks that they would deliver their groceries when H.G. Hill had a store in the 100 block of North Atlantic Street for many, many years, and they would have their own. And such hardware stores as Keith Simmons and Clark Hardware would deliver hardware-type goods to the J.M. Carney Company and to Marbury McCoy, to Lawson's, to Waiting Brothers Hardware, and Tullahoma Hardware for many years. A convenience to the merchants and a convenience to the folks at home. And it was a great day. And you know, even now, the convenience, when we go to the grocery store, we don't just get big sacks of groceries and take our car in our arms. We have the shopping carts. What a convenience to have those to move around in. And the convenience of delivery has always been wonderful for folks, and we enjoy it very much. My grandfather had a wagon that he delivered groceries in for many years, and then he got a 1924 Dodge truck that he delivered in, and it was real fun. I sure do thank you for watching this morning. This is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come, and everyone have a real good day.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the rooster.
And I'm the red maiden. and we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back and hope you've enjoyed the show so far. One thing I forgot to do, Peggy, is thank Lester Harris. And Lester is the owner of West Lincoln Produce Market, and that's located at the corner of West Lincoln and Cedar Lane, right across the street from Tullahoma Drug. And he's provided us with all of our pumpkins and our gourds.
This is one I've never seen before.
All these fine things, and we want you to go by and see him. And I want you to know that I buy tomatoes there every week, all year long, even in the wintertime. There'll be snow on the ground. He has vine-ripened tomatoes in there, and they are absolutely just as good in January as they are right now. And he also has
nothing
Amish.
better than a homegrown tomato.
Nothing. He also has Amish goods in there, and that's where I buy my butter, because you can get Amish butter that's better than Land O'Lakes, cheaper than Land O'Lakes at the grocery store.
And it's been churned from
Amish
real
people.
animal.
Yeah, real stuff. Cheese, there's a great cheese selection, and all kinds of chowders and jams and stuff that the Amish people have put, canned and jarred, and all kinds of fruit and vegetables. A great guy. And I just want to thank him for providing us with our fall display items this year. That's the West Lincoln Produce Market. Go in there and thank Lester Harris. We appreciate him. Something else I wanted to say that I forgot to say is our friend Becky Buller, who was up for 8 IBMA awards.
She is fabulous.
And she won 2. She won 2. Gospel recorded performance with Jeff Hyde, and then recorded event of the year. Now, do you remember when the Divas performed, and it was Celine Dion and Cher and the rock and roll Aretha Franklin and Faith Hill. So they covered all genres of music. And they traveled around together. Well, there's 3 other women in bluegrass that played with Becky on this thing, where they won
Women of Bluegrass.
Women of Bluegrass, and they won the recorded event of the year.
And that is fabulous.
And they're incredible.
And we're having her back with our 2019-20 season at South Jackson Civic Center.
Oh yeah, and
Becky
her
Buller
band,
and her band,
her banjo player won Banjo Player of the Year. So you want to see some professional folks doing it at the highest level there is, you go see a Becky Buller show and you'll see that. Now, I wanted to say a few more words here about, I have got a call yesterday from Cat Murray, who at McMurr's, who is my buddy and my printer, who says that my second edition of Loku books are ready to be picked up. And so I'll have some of those at Couches probably tomorrow or the next day. The first edition had 90 in it. The second edition has 200 in it.
Wow.
So, and you get all of them, all 200 of them, and it'll be $20, and that's $1 a piece.
That's a good deal.
You know, and so it's a piece of my mind. You might like it, you might not like it. I'm not going to give you a refund if you don't, though. It'll start a fire. But
I think they're fabulous.
Here's a couple of thoughts right here, because they go from the sublime to the ridiculous. If each of us could follow the path we choose, and our talents and contributions, and the talents and contributions we make were received and rewarded equally, the workspace would be more palatable with everyone sitting at the same size desk.
Interesting.
You know?
Yeah, I see that.
You're not, if you do the best you can with what you got, you know, you don't need to be.
Your desk can be
just the same size a musician's can, as a business person's. It's crazy the way my mind runs. I'm older than before, but still knocking on the door. I've been shot, cut, scarred, blamed, my name proclaimed in victory. The same voices cussing me. Won and lost at a great cost, but did what was needed. I might not be your champion, but I'll never be defeated.
Good for you. I appreciate that.
So
that's really
simple,
good.
Crazy stuff like that, all the way down
be
to
your own very best.
Yeah. Let's see, where's one here?
Do you write every day, John?
Every day.
Something
every day.
And it just comes to your head.
Yeah. And
put it down.
you know, I'm trying to find one that's kind of crazy. Here's one. Young and tender, smartly coming of age. That lovely lass is turning the page. While the trees run the floor from rim to rim, doing almost anything to get the win. Be it kings of the gym or daddy's little queen, it's a red letter day, Sweet 16.
Sweet, yeah.
So from a little girl turning 16 to having your basketball team make the Sweet 16 college basketball, which we're just about ready to go into. That's a big
remember when
thing.
I turned 16.
So Loku, Book of Loku, written by yours
and tomorrow
personally.
At Couches, right?
Sometime either tomorrow or the next day. I don't know when I'll get them over there,
Okay.
but it's the second edition. So thank you for listening. Thank you for reading. Thank you for allowing me to be crazy, and Peggy as well. She's allowed me 40 years, soon to be 40 years of being crazy on the South Jackson stage. And you know, you don't know how important it is to a creative like us to have somewhere to do what we do.
Somewhere to do it, yeah.
And we do it for you every time. And I tell you what, other people that do it for you were all over Tullahoma this past weekend for 2 days.
I know it was
downtown.
Yeah.
It's a 41A festival, and we're going to end the show today with some video from down there. I hope you enjoy it. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Oh yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Hey, here we go. Some people call me Maureen. Yeah, street of a Papa John. Now, wasn't that better? People talk about me, baby. Oh, they say that I'm doing you wrong. Oh, yeah. But don't you worry, baby, don't you worry, Mama, because I'm right here, that we love about a show like this is that we get to have the younger generation with us. And what's so cool is that we've been around so long that some of these young people are, as a result of Velcro Pygmy shows, and that's a nice thing. Velcro Pygmy babies, it's nice to have you all with us. Yeah, I speak the truth, I speak the truth. Go out, have a few hundred drinks at a Velcro Pygmy show underage. Before you know it, on in the oven. People keep talking about me, baby. They say